We interrupt this broadcast with a special bulletin from the MMDTM network. This is happening now. Your premier source for the most intriguing stories from across the globe. We bring you the fascinating stories that you won't want to miss. Steering clear of the political and the grim, our focus is on the intriguing, the uplifting, and the downright interesting. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay captivated with Happening Now.
Welcome to Happening Now. This is where we bring all the best stories and we bring them to you today. Happening Now.
Why do you look like a frog? Look
That
at
was-
Trixie.
That's Happening Now.
She can start barking at him.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Happening Now. I'm your host, Coco O'Hearn. That's Reuben Riggs, and that's Mama Cat. And we're here to tell you stories that we like, and we don't care if you don't like them.
Okay,
Okay, good.
Welcome, everybody, back to Happening Now.
that was
Really weird.
something.
This is a show where we just look for stories we like, whether it's interesting or funny or strange or weird or fun or fantastic or inspiring or phenomenal or
Crazy.
crazy or
Stupid.
so tick to. And if it is, then we bring it to this show and we
Talk about.
share it with all you guys.
Yeah.
All right? We don't know what each other's stories are. We
Nah.
hope that once in a while we're going to get the same story.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it would be. Just like we thought it would be funny last time. Anyway, we
Wouldn't that be funny?
would just be a funny one. Okay, Lauren, you start.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to start?
Well, duh.
Well, duh. All right. So this comes from.
All right, Mom, your turn.
That was mean. I
Go
don't
ahead.
know what UPI stands for, but that is the website that I got this from. UPI.com. Odd news. Okay.
Yeah, I have one from UPI.
No
What
way.
if it's the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so funny.
No way.
I do. Hold
Okay,
on,
well, I'm
wait,
going to start by
wait.
showing you a video. Wait, you disappeared.
UPI.
No, but that was my second choice.
Oh, that's too funny.
Okay, so this one starts with a video. So can I show it and you can put it up on the thing?
As long as you send it to me and don't just expect me to go find it somewhere.
Well, I'll send it to you. I'll just let you look at it first.
Oh my god.
Wait till it starts going slow
The slow motion. So
This is a
screen grab that and send it to me.
Okay, I'll send it to you. All right, here you go, Mom. Just so you can see what we're looking at.
Is that a ping pong ball?
Yep.
Oh, gross.
I heard.
Oh, he should choke himself to death.
Oh my!
Guinness,
Okay.
that's
I
pretty
remember
gross.
hearing similar stories about ping pong balls from Thailand, but I never saw anything.
So this Idaho man. What?
But it was women at a show.
Oh, ick.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's
we're not getting into
no,
that.
no
Idaho
further.
man spits ping pong ball at wall to break record is the
That's a good caption. or
yeah.
a headline.
It's the headline. So basically this guy from Boise, Idaho, currently holds the most concurrent Guinness World Record titles in the world. Previously set the record for the most times to bounce a ping pong ball off of a wall with his mouth at 43. But now it's 47, so he beat his own record.
Okay. All right.
This just came out today, September 5th. Should I not say that?
Fifthly. Oh,
Well,
whatever.
I don't care.
It's no.
Whatever, you
No,
can
it's new
take
news.
it out if
It's
you want.
news.
But sorry, I
You
was
just glitched.
yeah, I did. His name is David Rush,
Mm-hmm.
and he is a serial record breaker. He says, quote, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to beat, it says is, but it means, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to beat it since it's an extremely challenging record that requires speed, precision, and consistency.
Definitely does.
Mm-hmm. He managed to beat his own record with 47 bounces in 30 seconds.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a stupid record
It's
to have.
dumb.
But
He said,
it's
sure,
impressive, I
it's
guess.
not the most flattering record, but I'm proud of the effort that it
Sure.
took and the hundreds of failures I was able to overcome to capture this Guinness World Record title.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
man.
pretty
Good
cool.
job, David Rush. And you should definitely watch the video because it is
Well, I just put it up, so everyone.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
But
My favorite part is the slow motion part.
yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
so
weird.
disturbing.
There's a lot of people who have broken strange Guinness records just
Yeah.
to be in.
Yeah.
You remember that episode of Robin Big, or was it Fantasy Factory, where he made a point to like make a couple Guinness records just
but
to,
what was it?
it was skateboarding stuff, I
Yeah.
think, but yeah,
That's fun.
Funny.
Yeah.
I like
we
it.
should figure out
should.
one that
We should.
that
And
we
try
can
to
break.
do.
Yeah.
Something that's
What should we
very
do?
strange that no one's ever done, so that
Because
we
it'd
can
be easy
Yeah,
be
to
easy
have the
break.
Guinness
Set the
World
record.
record of it
Mm-hmm.
because we'd be the first ones.
We got to set the bar high so somebody
Yeah.
doesn't just swoop in and take our victory.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Start thinking.
if anyone has any thoughts of what we could do, my mama done told me podcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please let us know.
All right, Ma, let's hear your happening now.
Okay, so I had two, and they came from I think it's called the Good News Network was the thing. They have lots of good news on it because that's what I like is good news. The first one came out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The Southern New Mexico Correctional Facility has started a program where the inmates train hard-to-handle dogs. And I know that's not news, really, because a lot
Sure
of
it
places do this. I mean, it's not like a new thing. You've heard this, with prisoners doing this kind of thing. But what I thought was cool about it was that the charity that was providing the animals for the inmates is Deming Animal Gardens was the name of it. And in order to do this, they wanted to have a paid trainer be involved to help the guys learn what they were supposed to do so they would do it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you get all this stuff about responsibility that the inmates learn, and we know all about that. But the cool part was that in order to get this trainer, costs money. Small charities don't have, these organizations don't have money to do that. Well, the guys wanted to do it. The inmates wanted to do it so badly that they gave money to guards to go to Sam's and buy toiletries, and they made kits. They made toiletry kits that they sold within the prison to other inmates, and they raised $350 to pay the trainer. And so I thought that was really cool because they wanted to do it so bad that they actually, put some skin in the game and really, and that gave them enough time.
If I was isolated, I would want my Trixie with me.
And how great it is for them to learn to take care of somebody maybe that they, maybe didn't take care of people before. So that was neat.
Yeah,
that was my story. And then the other one was right next to it, and it also had to do with animals. And this one came out of Tennessee, and it was the Veterans Center for Equine Recovery, it's called. And they're using horses to rehabilitate and help veterans all the way from World War II to current times for PTSD and things like that. And if you know anything about horses are very emotional animals, and they pick up on the emotion of their guide and their rider and all of that. And it's really teaching and showing the veterans what anger issues they have. I mean, the horses won't respond well to somebody that's angry, and so it's teaching them to calm down and to control their emotions. And I always think of what was the name of that 28 days, Lauren?
Oh,
when she
yeah.
had to lift the dog's or the dog.
The
She had to
horse's
lift the horse's
leg.
leg, and it's that type of
Yeah.
deal. Your inner emotions really affect a horse.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really neat too.
That is neat.
Yeah, that is
And they were
cool.
saying it was a need for this type of a recovery thing
Mhm.
nationwide for
Yeah.
veterans because of the risk of suicides and stuff. So I thought that was
Yeah.
really neat.
That is neat.
So anything that has to do with
Very cool.
animals, I love. And yeah,
Well,
so
Very
that's my
cool.
stories. So good job.
Good.
They called them the big biofeedback machines that tell you like it is.
Yeah.
Aw.
Horses are
Um,
cool.
That
It's-
reminds me of like people who use like service animals. Like I saw something and I have no idea like if who this is or like if it's even a real thing, but I think it is. This person is schizophrenic
Mhm.
and they see people that aren't there
mhm.
and their service animal, he'll say if he sees somebody and he's talking to him, he'll tell the dog greet, and the dog knows if nobody's there not to go, so he knows that it's a hallucination if the
Oh,
dog doesn't go up
wow.
to it.
Whoa.
I thought that was really cool, and he's like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
okay, so now I know that that person's not really there. I am not going to interact with that person, and I
Right.
know that
Oh,
whatever
my
they
goodness.
say isn't gonna
Wow.
isn't
Not
gonna
to take
affect
it
me.
too, yeah.
Right. So I don't have to take it too seriously.
Right.
The dog just looks at him like, nah, man, there's
Man,
nobody there.
Oh my
And he's
goodness,
like,
that's
oh,
awesome.
okay, cool.
I
I
feel
know
like
that that's not a
yeah,
real thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. That kind of, it reminded me of it. When you
Yeah, no kidding. Awesome.
Okay, so here's a story from New York. A 9-year-old boy left his Brooklyn apartment around 7 o'clock a.m. Thursday, but did not show up to school. The boy's parents called the police, who put out a description of the missing child, including the orange tie he was wearing.
Mm.
The CBS station sent a helicopter to the scene, and reporter Dan Rice spotted the boy on the rooftop of his family's building.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny.
As my pilot Eric Ross and I were circling around the building, we came across a person sitting in a chair over here on the rooftop. We zoomed in with the camera. It appeared to be the child that fit the description of the missing child, Rice said. Station employees called the police and the helicopter crew hovered overhead until they arrived. Quote, he just packs up his computer and his book bag and goes off with the police, officers said. They look back at our helicopter and give us a big thumbs up and took the child down to his parents.
Police responding to a 9-year-old missing boy in Brooklyn. Our cameras were actually rolling as that 9-year-old was found on a building rooftop. Dan Rice is in Skyfox HD right now. Dan, you were above all of this when it went down. Please explain to us how this happened.
Well, Bianca, it's the nightmare that every parent dreads to hear. Their child left for school at 7 o'clock this morning, never made it to school. So police were called to this high-rise in Midwood, Brooklyn. They had a search going on throughout the city to see if they could find the missing 9-year-old boy. Police aviation was up around around Brooklyn, around Queens, around Manhattan, trying to see if they could find where this boy ended up. As we arrived on the scene to bring you the story here at noon, we were doing our own search on a rooftop, and when we zoomed in with the camera, we saw in this chair over here a young man fitting the description of the boy that was missing. We looked at the boy, what he was wearing. We saw the description, so we were able to relay that information to the police, the 6-1 precinct officers who were down on the street. They came up onto the roof, climbed over the fencing, came over to the boy, and sure enough, it was the boy they were looking for. The officers gave us a thumbs up to the helicopter's camera, and were able to bring the boy safely back to his parents. EMS here, just as a precaution. Police doing their investigation still, but again, a happy ending to what could have been a terrible story, Bianca.
Absolutely. Glad that boy is found safe, most importantly.
A neighbor said he had seen on the a neighbor said that he had been on the roof drinking coffee and had seen the child playing with his iPad, but hadn't thought anything about it.
That to me is so funny.
The first day of school for most New York City public school students is September 5th, but school started on August 12th for the Success Academy charter school chain, whose uniforms feature orange ties. A TV news helicopter crew spotted a boy who had been reported missing, but who was actually up on the roof of his New York City building playing hooky.
He was
So,
playing Hooky.
He was playing Hooky.
Hooky.
I
Oh,
thought that
wow.
was
I saw
funny.
that
And he
one
was
too,
busted
and I was
big
like,
time.
Yeah.
I almost picked that. It was between those three,
Yeah.
and
So
I went with ping pong. We got real lucky this
We
time.
got
Yep.
close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was funny.
It's hilarious.
Can you imagine just being
No.
up on the roof, like
Just like a
playing your
helicopter,
iPad?
like,
and you're
Yeah.
what is
And,
going
and pick up my book
on?
pad and pick up
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
pack
Please
it back
come
up and
Please come up there and like, your parents are looking
Hello?
every for. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
do they get charged for this police helicopter
Right,
going
no
around?
kidding.
And
I
oh my
don't know.
gosh,
I doubt it.
No,
be terrible.
probably not.
Because
Just a
in New
kid.
York, you think, okay, the worst.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay. So here's my second story. Lost cat
Oh,
turns up 2,000 miles from home after
Oh.
nearly 3 years.
3 years.
Here's a picture of the cat.
oh, it's a pretty kitty.
Yeah.
Looks like Finny
Kinda.
A little bit.
a little bit.
All right. A cat who went missing from his family's Texas home nearly 3 years ago was reunited with his owners after turning up in Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh.
The Humane Society said that a, quote, skinny stray cat was recently brought in by a member of the public. Staff members were left in disbelief when the microchip identified him as Shoto, a pet reported missing in Texas in January of 2022.
Unbelievable.
So
Shoto's
crazy.
owner, Carla, said she was initially suspicious when a Massachusetts area code came up on her phone, but she decided to answer it and was shocked to learn Shoto had been found 2,000 miles from home.
That's so great.
The quote continues that no one except for Shoto will ever know how he got to Massachusetts, what he experienced, or who he met along the way. That adventure will forever remain his secret.
Somebody
That's
needs to make a
a
movie,
movie. I know.
out of that.
Yes.
I want to know what
Yeah.
Shoto went through.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I want to know all the people he met.
So go ahead.
Carla made the 26-hour drive to be reunited with Shoto and bring her beloved pet home. We're honored to have reunited this family after such a long time apart, thanks to the amazing power of a microchip. The shelter
Wow.
said.
So before you kids were born, I had a cat,
Uh-huh.
and it got in the back of a truck of
Wasn't it
one of your
Lucy?
dad's friends. No, honestly can't remember the cat's name, and that makes me feel really bad.
I thought it was Lucy.
No, this cat, it was before you guys were born. I didn't have either one of you yet, but I had the cat. One of your dad's friends came over, and he had a van, and he worked for a veterinary retail place or
Sounds
something.
creepy.
Mm-hmm.
No, and he opened up the back of the van to
Why?
bring some, because Uncle Kenny had a dog, and we got some dog food from him, and he took it out of the back of his van. Well, the cat got in the van. We didn't know it
Yeah.
until he went to the racetrack because he was delivering different stuff to the, veterinary supplies or
Yeah.
something to the racetrack. And when he opened the back of the van, the cat got out at the Exarban racetrack.
Oh, man.
So he called us and said, "Oh, the cat," So I spent
Whoa,
days
the cat.
outside the
Whoa,
fence
the
calling the
cat.
cat. They wouldn't let me go into where the stables were and stuff. And I just looked and looked, couldn't find her. Put in an ad in the paper. 5 weeks later, I got a call from somebody that said, "I think we found your cat."
Mm.
And we lived on 42nd Pacific, way
Mhm.
down there. And this lady lived clear out in Millard on like 136th and Castelar or something like
Mhm.
that, which seemed a long ways away from us.
Mhm.
And she said, "I think it's your cat." And I went out there and got it, and it was my cat. Very skinny, and apparently one of the kids, they lived in a cul-de-sac,
Mhm.
and one of the teenagers worked at the racetrack and found her and took her home, and then the mom wouldn't let him keep her. So they just put her out, and all the people in the cul-de-sac had been feeding her.
Aw.
And then she happened to see an old issue of the paper and saw it in the paper and called me up to see if maybe it was my kitty.
That's
Sure
crazy.
enough.
She had a scar
Sure
on her
enough, it was
nose.
the cat that you don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. Isn't that terrible?
Shaka.
No, I had a Shaka though.
Shaka was alive when I was alive.
Yeah,
though.
Shaka peed in the
Yeah,
all over your
the,
stuff.
The Rigg Street house. You were alive.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not good.
It was probably Suzanne.
No, I don't.
It was probably
remember. I really don't remember what the cat's name was.
Oreo.
But this kitty had lost a lot of weight. She was really small when I went to get her, but she gained weight. And so that was like 5 weeks.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
But that's probably what happened to this kitty. She probably
got on a truck.
Got in her truck.
Probably jumped up into like a cattle truck and was hanging out with the pigs. And
something.
when they took the pigs out to slaughter, she's like,
"What
later?"
Or got on a train.
Yeah.
She might have gotten in like
and
a boxcar or
state
something.
Fair, probably.
She probably did.
Yeah, she met like
a lamb and a goose and
there was like a
Templeton.
There was a bird.
Yeah.
The
there
bird
was all
was just
kinds.
the bird was like an old crow though.
A guide.
Yeah.
Sort of a
It'd be like
wise
the
old
Incredible
guide.
Journey. You know, where she met all kinds of carnival people and stuff.
Yeah. Just hanging out with the sideshow people.
This is going to a weird place. Anyway, that has been happening now.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are going on that we saw that we thought were cool or fun or interesting. And we wanted to share them with you and with each other. If you have any interesting, fun stories that you think we should read on the air, we would love to hear them or read them, and we will do that. You send them to us. You can send them to our email address, which is
My Mama Done Told Me podcast @gmail.com.
Yep, or you can link us to them in our social media, which you can find links to our social medias in the
Shoy Noits.
Shoy Noits. Noits. Shoy Noits. Shoy Noits.
We hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. We love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. They didn't turn it off already.